Welcome to his Greek Workshop. My name is Yuchel, and today we'll continue with the restoration of the 1962 Deckel SO grinder. Well, let me remove the... so we can really hear what it sounds like. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. So we'll take that apart. Pretty sure that washer is just in there. There are pins. There's one pin there that keeps it registered. Otherwise, this back plate just rests. There you go. So this model, this is an older model, it has straight shaft. It does not have a taper. That's the pulley. Looking at the parts diagram, it looks like once you remove the set screw on top, this assembly is supposed to come out. But it hasn't been serviced or taken apart in years, so it's really in there. Let's see if I can take my world's longest flathead screwdriver and give it some help. See, you probably can't see it, but there's the end of the spindle there. There you go. It just needed a little love, a little persuasion. Come on. Let me remove these screws that hold the guard to the main body, so I can get a better grip. Well, a little more persuasion. Isn't there a song? There. Ta-da! That's what the main spindle looks like. Look, more pin nuts. My favorite. Let's see if we can get this spindle taken apart again. Let's see here. We gotta take those nuts off again, just like we did on the end of the main shaft. You know what? I'm gonna put safety glasses on for this. Alright, confession time, guys. I felt pretty bad about jerry rigging to try to remove these pin nuts off of the spindle. It worked okay on the main shaft, but regardless, you know, I was being lazy and not just being lazy. And you guys deserve better than that as my viewers. So, you know, I decided to do it the right way. We're gonna, but we're not gonna buy the pin spanners. We're gonna make them. Because, you know, why not? We have all the tools, right? So let's get to it. Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fold this in half, then you'll have a better idea of what that looks like. Okay. So right here is 19 millimeters diameter. And you know, we had to cut this back in an angle instead of keep going, because otherwise with the pin you cannot fit it around the diameter of this nut. Okay? And then right here is where the pin's gonna go. See? So I don't have a 19 millimeter end mill or a drill, so I'll have to bore it with a boring bar. So given that we have to make two of them, now you see why I decided to draw it that way. We'll just cut this all out, machine everything, and the very last step we'll do is we'll cut it in half. Obviously, you know, we still have to put the pins in, but hopefully that makes sense. This is 0.16, 160 thousandths of an inch, about 4 millimeters. It's pretty thin. All I have is 3/16 inch hot roll steel. So we'll just use that to make it, and we'll just grind the sides a little bit around here to make it a little thinner. And you do have to do that because you have to get right next to two of these nuts. Alright, let me get the materials set up, and we'll meet at the milling machine. We're going to open up the hole with 5/8 inch roughing end mill, and then we'll bore it to size. So I cut the material in half with a bandsaw, and now we're going to clean this up just to make it look pretty. Doesn't affect the performance, but we do want it to look pretty, right? So we turn that upside down, and I just used the parallel to roughly copy that line. It's not important, but we want to shave off. That's what that looks like. Well, let me grab that right there. That's what that looks like so far. We'll have to round this off on a disc sander and put the pin in, and probably sand or machine off a clearance, back clearance here. Alright, I spent some quality time with my sander, disc sander, and this is how they look so far. I didn't have the right size pen material, so I took one that's a little bit bigger and I ground it down. I'm hoping it'll be enough. The thing is, once it's pushed in there and using the wrench, it's going to be all shear. It's not going to be long pin that sticks out and bent. So hopefully this pin's strong enough. We'll see. The pin's about 2 millimeters in diameter, so that fits in there. I just need to press fit a little further and we'll cut it off. And we just have to make another one. Here are the wrenches. Just pushed in some pins. The pins don't feel very hard, so I'm kind of concerned that they may break. So we'll see how it goes. Well, let's see. Yeah. What's the next one? Right there. Yeah. Well, let's see if this works. See, these are a little bit too thick, so they don't like to be against each other, or next to each other. I may have to grind them thinner. Yeah. Let me go do that. Alright, I think I got them on there now. Holy mackerel! It's on there tight. Come on. Ah, yeah. Ooh, I think I got it. Yeah, look at that. Yay! Success. Now that worked, I'm going to tell you how much it cost to buy them. $13 each. Not much. But now it's done. I can take this apart, get the bearing numbers, and get the bearings ordered. So the pin nuts come off, and this spring cap, I think is what they call it. Cup spring, I think. I don't know. But then I'm not sure how this part comes off. I noticed there's a keyway, but there's no grub screws or nothing. So I'm going to explore. If I can find my small screwdriver, here we go. There you go. Whoa. Interesting. Man, that's an interesting bearing. Let me see if I can show it to you. See that? And it just sits right on that. Has a radius machine. Come on, camera. Here we go. And it sits in like that, and it applies pressure. Huh. That does not look like what was shown as available for purchase. There's a felt there. Looks like this is supposed to spin off. That's the spindle. See, it does not look like... Doesn't look like what they show you here. And here, they give you a couple bearings. The rear, I think the rear one is 12. Yeah, rear one is bearing number 6001. Front one 61903. And that's what's available from dealers that I've seen. But this does not look like that. These bearings don't look like that. What does that mean? I don't know. Do I clean and repack using their bearing grease? But right now, I want to figure out how to open this. How to remove that. You know, I go through a lot of paper towels. Like, should start a company or something. Oh, look at that. Just bearing raceway, just ground into the quill. I'm going to call it a quill. Wow. Interesting. Then, how do I get that out? I was in the bathroom last night doing what people do in the bathroom, and my mind started to wander, which it often does. And I started thinking about this spindle again and why I couldn't take this last piece off the nose. And you really need to take that off to remove the bearing. So I started brainstorming, and basically there are two different ways it can be on. One is press fit, and the other is threaded on. And as you saw, I explored a little bit with the screwdriver, and I'm pretty convinced that it is not press fit. It just doesn't make sense, given that it has to squeeze onto the bearing that's inside. So at this point, my legs were falling numb. I've been in there for about half an hour, wondering, thinking about this. And by that point, I decided that it had to be threaded on. And then, started thinking about why I couldn't take it off yesterday. And, is it because it's threaded on really tight? And then I started thinking about the motion. And, how the spindle turns. Spindle turns counterclockwise. And I realized that I tried to loosen this as if it was a right-handed thread. I had assumed it was a right-handed thread. But then it dawned on me that if it is right-handed thread and spindle's turning this way, it is likely or conceivable that it would loosen itself up. So so I had to think like a German engineer at Deckel. What would German engineer at Deckel do? Well, left-handed thread to prevent it from loosening itself. So again, by this time, 45 minutes have gone. I don't think I have legs anymore. At least I can't feel them anymore. But I got excited. So anyway, here I am. We're going to try and see if we can loosen that. And short of clamping in a vise and using something that could potentially damage it, I'm going to try my trusty, grippy, chili grip rubber gloves. Now, before I came out here, I had good breakfast. Ensure that I have solid energy to do this. So left-handed, so we're gonna try, so we have to turn it clockwise. Yeah, it's turning. Kind of crunchy, but it's coming out. And there's a bearing. Huh. Let me get a paper towel and see how the bearing raceways look. Sometimes when you're stumped, you just have to walk away. You know, take the time, think about it, figure out, hey, what are some of the logical reasons why it's not coming out the way you would think? Looks really nice. And yesterday, that's good. Yesterday, you know, we took the rear bearing off, and basically what I found out is that I've never seen a bearing retainer like this, but basically it is just a ball retainer. It doesn't have inner and outer race like your modern typical bearings. So what it does instead is there's a radius machined and ground into the spindle. The balls rest onto, and that acts as a inner raceway I should say, and the spindle also has the matching radius ground onto it and polished, looks like mirror, and that acts as an outer raceway. And same thing is happening here at the front end. Here's the inner race that's machined onto the shaft, and here's the outer race machined onto the spindle housing, quill, whatever you want to call it. And this one also has old school ball retainer. I'm going to leave that on there until I'm ready to clean it. But by tightening this front nose, you can adjust the load, preload. And, you know, that's pretty cool. Now, when I was exploring this, how to take this off, you know, you saw me with the small screwdriver. You know, I was really cautious that I wasn't forcing anything. You don't want to damage anything. You just want to, you know, poke and prod and look around to see if there's any new clue. And there it is. So I did talk to a gentleman at American Rotary Tool, or rtool.com, I think. They're in California. At some point, Deckel changed the bearings and the shaft design from this to more common bearings that have inner and outer raceways all built in, traditional, shielded bearing or sealed bearings. And they do sell that for like $11 for the front bearing and $5 for the rear bearing, and they are from Deckel. They confirmed me that, they confirmed that they get it direct from Deckel. So, before I took this apart, I was excited that I found them, and I thought, well, for $16, heck, bargain. Well, they're not going to work on this. I think he said around 1968 is when Deckel changed this. I'm not sure. But again, this is 1962. So, huge design change on the spindle. I haven't decided what kind of bearing grease to use. So I'm still researching that, but we'll have to make a decision when we get closer. Anyway, so good quality time spent in the bathroom resulted in success. Hey, some guys just think and whatever in the bathroom. Well, I think this is a good place to stop this video. Next video, we're going to cover the body work and prepping for the paint of the main body. I picked up 3 different cans of paint. This is Rust-Oleum, Smoke Gray, Duplicolor, let's see here, Medium Gray, and Duplicolor Machinery Gray. Trying to figure out which one is the closest match. So, I don't know if my eyes are playing tricks on me, but they all seem a little bit off. But we'll see. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate it, and see you next time.